The Rehabilitation in Conflict, RiC framework, is a tool to better understand and strengthen rehabilitation in conflict settings. Rehabilitation involves two interacting groups: those who need and use rehabilitation services and those who offer them. The conditions, the behavior, and the functioning of these two groups are influenced by a network of contexts and systems. Together, these form the four interconnected components of the RiC framework. Context sits at the top of the framework and influences all other components. Context means geopolitical circumstances, environment, culture, and various other factors that can differ greatly depending on the setting. Imagine the diversity of conflict contexts. The flat and arid countryside of Sudan versus the hilly rainforests of the Congo. Or Kiev, before the war on Ukraine, a busy modern capital. Or the densely populated city of Gaza. A knowledge of context is essential to understanding, developing, and adapting rehabilitation in conflict settings. The systems component includes a context's health, social, education, and economic systems, the informal and private sectors, but also the international organizations present and interacting with the local systems. Systems define the rehabilitation services provided and the population served. Systems affect disease and disability prevalence, injury incidents, and health literacy. The availability, affordability, and the quality of rehabilitation services depend on their integration within systems. The population component describes the persons in need of rehabilitation services, their demographic and clinical profiles, their views and expectations, and it is divided into two groups: the service users and those who need rehabilitation but who don't access it. Understanding the four components is vital to identify the reasons behind the lack of access to rehabilitation. The services component outlines how rehabilitation services are delivered, including the workforce, infrastructure, and their connection to the health systems within the systems component. Services and population influence each other. The available workforce and services shape the disabilities present and vice versa. For instance, physiotherapists from conflict settings may be experts in managing polio, unlike those from high-income countries. The arrows in the diagram indicate the direction with a greater impact. There is, of course, also the opposite direction, for example, the influence of the population on systems. The RiC framework is a multidimensional model where all elements are connected and any action at one point can have a knock-on effect on others. And this happens not only in a negative way. Constructive actions at any level can also positively influence each other. Therefore, the RiC framework provides a valuable tool for conceptualizing rehabilitation in conflict and supporting its strengthening in such settings.